Morning. Morning. Happy Bitcoin Saturday. Just out in my backyard once again. All my wife's beautiful crafts and artwork here. Here's some fishies. It's a great mosaic. Hey Rick, welcome. Melba, Jean. Let me open up chat. Make sure you guys just either thumbs up in the video you hear me, or chat, say yeah. Yep, okay. Just want to make sound check. I was just going to go out to let me just muting everybody. No offense. Don't want any background noise. And then I'm going to share screen for a little bit. And then I'm going to make sure I disable the ability for folks to write on my screen. All right, so let's look at some charts. We start out with some charts. You can see here there was a lot of euphoria coming out of the Thanksgiving holiday, primarily in the U.S., but a lot of global markets take breaks late November, and a lot of conversations over the Thanksgiving table this year around what is Bitcoin, what's, and oh, I never heard of it. Also, the Chicago Board of Trade just announced Bitcoin futures. You can start trading Bitcoin. And then, of course, there's Japan, Korea, China, Russia, Australia. I mean, it's just going on and on. Some of the biggest countries are really starting to come into Bitcoin and starting to leverage the blockchain. U.S. is always 2 or 3 years behind, of course. Here's just the last day. We made a recovery. You can see here the euphoria happened right around right after the Thanksgiving breakout I was discussing, and then it was a huge sell-off and profit taking. A lot of folks held Bitcoin until they got to that magic 10,000 mark. Then they started to hold on. Some of them sold here, right? And then a lot of people sold, made a ton of profits, and then came back into the market on the low, right? And then this is the activity of people coming back in the market at the low. Here's more activity of selling for profit. So this is really just kind of chart 101. You can see the market sentiment of what's happening and the movement. Another really good site is CoinMarketCap. If you click on each of these tokens and you go down to their charts, you also have another really telltale sign. Look at that chart, huh? What's that, the lifetime? I always look in this usually in 7-day or 1-day increments. Here's 7 days last week. What I'm just going to show you here is volume. You always want to kind of look at the volume coming in and coming out. You can start getting a sense. And like I said, a lot of profit taking, a lot of people then begin to buy on the low. See here? This is called buying on the low. See how there's higher volume on a lower price? Buy low, sell high. Also, with this site, you can sort. This is all the tokens in the market right now. You can sort on the percentage of change. Here's one, Einsteinium. Boy, imagine that. Well, whoever created Einsteinium is pretty smart. They're at 89 cents though, but you can see the price increase. But you can sort and get a figure out of maybe some of the coins you may want to buy. You just open up an exchange account. Bittrex, Poloniex, Kraken. There's probably 50. Well, there's probably the top 10. You want to Google Bitcoin exchanges, and you can fund your account with Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, then buy these other tokens. In fact, you can even go to, let's go to this is an example. You can click on Einsteinium, which God knows what that even is. But oftentimes, or sometimes, they'll show you their website and what exchanges they're actually on where you can buy it. And then you can go back and then you can sort by market cap. These are the top ones. And then if you scan down here, Ethereum is holding strong. Oftentimes, most of the top tokens reflect Bitcoin charts. See how the charts are almost a mirror image? Because Bitcoin is the mother lode on the blockchain that drives all tokens. And all the value that actually eventually comes from all these tokens is the exchange of products and services and using the blockchain to and have users actually using it instead of just buying and selling it, right? Because at the end of the day, it can just become vaporware, vapor coin, meaning no value at all other than just market sentiment. Here's BitConnect. Talk about that quite a bit. At 318, bought that right around 50. So 6x. You can see here there was a big sell-off here, right? This is the big sell-off that happened last week. So, all right, we'll get started here shortly. Let me go back out, stop share. It's been a good 6 or 7 weeks here. Bitcoin X4 is moving along very nicely. We have a kind of a big avalanche, right, of a lot of the 30-dayers. Meaning that, you know, with cycle assurance, you're assured to cycle depending upon your activity level and believe it or not, how we communicate with each other. I start making decisions at that point, whether you're still included into the private group or not. And so I don't want to go too negative, but I'm really trying to get to the cream of the crop because this is really a privilege to be here, not a right. And just because you send me Bitcoin doesn't mean that, you know, you can do whatever you want and not be a nice person. So even if you fake it for a while. So in your 30-day assurances, when you come and message me, I really need to know certain information. Obviously, the proof that you paid 30 years. I keep saying 30 years. 30 days ago through your Bitcoin hash ID, time date stamp, or messenger time date stamp. If you reinvested with your cycle profits, and some people have that going on quite a bit. Most of their cycle positions are from profits. You know, playing with house money with a capital H, HP. And so you still have to time date stamp that somehow, right? So what I'm starting to do when I'm populating the things on the boards is to put a date next to your name. I never did that before. So when you cycle and I open up a new 25 spot somewhere, I'll put your name and 12/2. So you have that going for you at least. But that still doesn't take away your responsibility to manage all the time and date stamping of all your positions. And if you have more than even 3, and you know, you need to have a Word doc at a minimum or a spreadsheet. And even you need to know, just because you put down, I purchased a position on 11/2, 30 days ago, that doesn't really mean anything to anybody. Right? Anyone can just write 11/2. It's like Seinfeld. Anyone can make a reservation. It's the actual holding of the reservation is what's important. What's important is proving to me the time, date, stamp of that transaction, whether through hash or through Messenger. Messenger, people are constantly asking me, I'm not really sure. You scroll up on Messenger and there's a historical record of all messages with me and you. That's what I do but I need you to be responsible to send me the information, and then I verify it. Then I set you up for the cycle and payout. If we still have a good rapport, right? If it's, I waited 2 days to get my 30 days. I thought send me your address. Refund, gone. Make sense? Real simple. Okay, so comments over here. You wanted to start commenting to all the people that are here. I'm going to start here shortly. We have about 80 people in. Not bad on a Saturday. A lot of people are enjoying their weekend, working for the weekend, right? We'll go over a little bit about some goals to have if you want to come online and make money. Some of the things you're going to start to need to own, and in order to start having options, right? Where every day is a Friday, every day is a weekend. That's kind of where you want to get to a point in your life. But over here, we start putting some testimonials. Started with, some people have crazy testimonials. I mean, starting with like 25, 50 bucks, and they already made 500, 1,000 bucks or something because they're just scaling up. But just to finish that whole time date stamp out, it's just because you write your dates down on your own Word doc, your own spreadsheet, which is highly recommended, or even a WordPad with a pencil and paper, you want to make sure that where did I get that information from? Oh, I got it from my hash. So you screenshot or copy your hash onto the document, and you have this like proof of a document. Just like if you're going to do financial trading or with a bank, everyone needs to keep their own financial records and manage and have responsibility for that. I don't manage and store all that. I have a hard enough job just putting everyone on the board, making sure if you do cycle, you'll cycle, and then sending payouts out. Make sense? Okay, let's get started. Let me share my screen. Okay, so welcome to the Unified Bitcoin Team's Bitcoin X4 presentation. Now, our Bitcoin X4 system, it really applies market-proven methods of crowdfunding, donations, member-to-member payments, instant payments, along with leveraging the power of Bitcoin, and also with team leverage and team system leverage. So the net is that it turns a small amount of Bitcoin into a large amount of Bitcoin in a short period of time. The only way that's really possible is through leverage, and we'll talk more about that. And it's a combination of the proper program, the proper system, the proper currency vehicle, such as Bitcoin, and then also the proper team to help you get to where you got to get, which is really just helping everyone raise Bitcoin quicker. Quick introduction to myself, Robert Q. Cash, the Crypto Cash King. Quite a few of you have been following me for a while. A lot of my members have known me for quite some time. 30 years experience in sales and marketing, MBA graduate, 16 years in the corporate payment software industry, helping some of the largest companies on the planet automate their payments and electronic payments, electronic invoicing, primarily trying to turn their businesses into an Amazon.com at the end of the day, right? Amazon.com is, obviously you go and you can one click and your product is on your doorstep in one day through the web and the internet. 15 years ago, even 10 years ago, even 5 years ago, most businesses, after you do your shopping on Amazon, you go into your place of business and you're faxing and emailing and still have paper shuffling all over. There's no automation when it comes to the business level. So that's what I did for 16 years, help businesses become webified, turning all their documents into electric documents, all their checks, paper checks into electronic payments through the use of the internet and building big business-to-business web portals. I've been in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency for over 3 years. I often joke it's like dog years, right? So I've been in 21 years, 3 times 7. And I've built lots of teams online and offline in network marketing, affiliate marketing, and online. So what the heck is Bitcoin, right? It's a little bit of everything, and it has all the criteria of being a major game changer when it comes to electronic payments and electronic commerce globally. It's 3 biggies. It's a digital asset, meaning an asset of value that goes up in value. Hence, if you bought 2 years ago at 500, and it's now 10,000, you made quite a bit of gain on that asset, right? But it's a digital asset, meaning that you really can't hold Bitcoin, even though you can buy those little gold Bitcoin coins at the novelty store and take a picture of yourself holding it by your face on Facebook. It is a digital asset of value, meaning that it's on a digital blockchain. So that's the one big thing it is. It's an asset. The second big thing it has become is an online currency. It's a way to exchange that value for products and services globally, person to person, business to business. So that's the 2 biggies. That's what's driving the price up. It's not only is it a digital asset of people trying to acquire it to make money on just buying it and holding it and making money on that. It's also a way to pay each other globally very efficiently. And that brings in the 3rd biggie. It comes with its own payment network, a blockchain network. It doesn't need banks to run. It doesn't need banks to send the money for them. It doesn't need PayPal. It doesn't need Payza. It doesn't need all the mumbo jumbo payment instruments out there. PayPal CEO said, oops, missed that bus. Elon Musk missed that bus. He actually co-founded PayPal. But, you know, 10 years, PayPal was founded about 14, 15 years ago, about when the internet started going hot. And Elon knew that there needed to be some form of some type of internet instant payment. And PayPal was the first generation of something similar to Bitcoin. While Nakamoto was in his labs building the blockchain, which eclipsed and will eclipse all financial systems. All banks, governments will eventually use the blockchain and have their own token. It will be the Fed coin, the China coin, the Yen coin. Everything will be on the blockchain eventually. But you know, so it's all three. It's the trifecta. It's the holy grail of internet money. It's a digital asset. It's a form of currency, and it comes with its own payment network. It's the perfect storm, and you're right where you need to be. Now let's just find out how we can make a lot of it in a fairly short period of time. We use, and what is Bitcoin X4? Once again, we apply market-proven methods of crowdfunding, donations, member to member, and we utilize a 2x2, real simple matrix board system, very efficient. It's been used for all of your guys' life. It's been around ever since we started to build businesses in affiliate marketing, network marketing. So it's been around, you know, for 100 years, let's say, right? But there's something to be said for simplicity. And it's very simple in that it's a 2x2, and that's a very efficient way to distribute the payments and money amongst members. And we'll go a little bit more into how and why it's efficient. Why did I create Bitcoin X4? Well, out of necessity becomes invention. When I was seeing so many things going wrong online, and so many challenges, but it comes down to these two biggest problems online and making consistent money. I'm sure you can relate to some, either one of these or both of these, and that's why you're here. And I'm hoping that we'll solve these two problems for you, because we are beginning to solve these problems for our members. These problems begin to go away, and when the first thing is to recognize there is a problem. Problem number one: no one has any money to make money, right? And problem two, not being able to recruit or sponsor. So let me drop back out of my presentation here. I try to come out of my slides. Hey, I see you're sleeping. Someone's sleeping. No, I'm just kidding. So two big problems, right? So people not having money to make money, and then not being able to recruit or sponsor. Because what happens is, and I talk about, some people say, do you need money to make money? Sort of. It's almost a universal law, right? And because if you really just step back and think about it, if you had no money whatsoever, hopefully you do, not a good place to be. But what would you do to get money? Well, I'd call my mom or my dad or my uncle, right? And say, hey, you know, it's kind of tough. Can you send me 500? Or let me see. Thank God for the internet and eBay. Maybe I can sell something on eBay and get some money, and I can use that money to then get into Bitcoin X4 to start making real money and understand how to make money. So you start running out of options pretty quick, right? If you don't have money, money is critical. If you're in a capitalistic society and you're in an economy and you're on the planet Earth and you need to eat and you need to live somewhere with a roof with fresh water. And how most people find money, they go get a job, right? And they get up in the morning, or they go to graveyard shift. They work their 8 or 10 hours at some job that they maybe sort of like. 80% of the people on the planet don't really like their job. They're doing it to make money. And so they get their money and they pay all their bills. And then every 2 weeks or every month, they pay all their bills and they have no money. And they wait for their next check. Then they have no money. And they wait for their next check, right? And so it's just an endless chase your tail scenario. How do you break free, right, from that? I don't know. No, just kidding. I do know, because I am free of it. You have to take consistent action and change what you're doing, because the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. Einstein said that, so that's why that Einsteinium token is doing so well. Einstein has quite a bit under his belt in terms of knowledge, but I tend to quote famous people. One of the recommendations that I do recommend to my members is to read about very successful people and their biography. How did they get there? What did they do? How do they think? It will change your entire perspective, and that's one of the biggest keys. Now, once you got some money, how do you make more money? How do you make money work for you to make more money? Well, when you come online, there's this phenomenon that starts to happen, and you're under some laws, universal laws. You either fight them or play with them. Some people call it a game, but you may as well, if you want to call it a game, you better be playing that game pretty well. And you need to be taking it super serious. It's not just, let me just pick this shiny object and hop and pop and go on Facebook and, oh, this launch looks cool. I'll flip over $100 in Bitcoin and wait for spillover. Woo-hoo! And then make nothing, and you go, oh, look at this launch. This is $58 Bitcoin. Sure, I have a little bit. I have to move Coinbase over to blockchain, but I can do it. And then a week later, whoo, company went out of business. So this is people's life online, right? Because no one's really trained them to understand that you have to execute and become a business owner and an entrepreneur in a very specific way. First of all, you have to do research. Second of all, you have to network with key people that have a brain. I would be one of those. I'm a little modest, but it's very important to understand that you want to pick people that have been in the business. Like for me, 30 years sales and marketing experience, over almost 4 years now in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. So you at least give me the shot to understand, what the heck is this guy doing? How is this guy free? Well, I spent the last 5 years working my butt off, both at a corporate job, 8 to 10 hours a day, and then spent the other 2 to 4 hours a day online. And sometimes I would do a little bit of both and multitask, because I made that transition. I talked about this on Thursday night. The transition comes when you know what you're making every month that you need to make, or you get kicked out of your house, right? Or your kids are on the street and you have no food. $2,000 a month, $3,000 a month, $4,000 a month. So what is it going to take to get your online income to that level so it matches? Well, it's going to take quite a while, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, because you got to feed from this money source over to this source to drive that source up. How does this source go up? Leverage. Team leverage, program leverage, multiple streams of income, and taking consistent action and taking a portion of your money and putting it into things that make money, so money turns into money. So while you're sleeping, your money's making money. And so what occurs, though, is that we have this instant gratification, ADD, ADHD. Now, no offense to folks that actually have a physical issue with that. But it's a society of instant everything, right? Instant income, instant internet, come online, make quick money, get rich quick, yada, 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 right? All BS. But what drives the psychological triggers in our head is that everything we've gotten in our life typically comes instantly. A thought can be instant, but the example would be, I can go get a job and start making money. So I already know that, making money is this process of getting a job and making money. Well, online is not, it's almost like the process of having a job, but it's not just going out and getting a job and then getting paid for doing that job. You come online, the difference between online is you pay to join a company, but if you don't do anything, if you don't have a leader, you don't have a team, and you don't have a system, you make nothing. And just because you pay money into a business doesn't mean that you automatically make money. With the exception of my company. That's why I created this, because when it comes down to it, the next step, when you finally realize the whole money game, you got to have some money to make money, and you got to be smart with your money. So part of it is you got to find people that know what they're doing online. Some people are wolves in sheep clothing, right? Where they talk a big game and they come on in my high ticket, 2,500, 5,000, 1,000, get all these ebooks and videos. Oh, and okay, come to our webinar once a month. And I'll rah-rah you to death. Oh, by the way, how do I make sales? How do I get 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 sales? Like when I sent my 5,000 through the mail or through the internet and I get into this high ticket program, where do I find other people to send me 5,000? Oh, well, you got to spend another couple thousand on traffic and then hope that you get some leads. And then you actually got to call those leads. Now there's businesses that'll call your leads for you. A lot of that is all mumbo jumbo. And it's a serious, serious problem. And on top of all that, there's an enormous amount of people that are online that just want your money, and they're not good people. So add all that up after the last 5-10 years, it's a friggin' wasteland online. It's nuclear fallout. There's very few dudes like me. You'll find that out pretty quickly. And I'm glad you're here, because maybe you have found the promised land. Because I keep things very simple, but I also keep it real. You ain't going to get rich in 3 months. You may get to a point where you're like starting to understand how you're ever going to get rich, or at least financially free and pay your bills in 3 months. From 3 months to 6 months, you're finally going to start to understand the blocking and tackling and how it's done, because you're sticking with me and my team and my systems, and you're starting to understand, wow, now I'm starting to understand. And then from 6 months to 9 months, you're at the point where you're hanging out with the team, you got a good team going on your own, you're making good money, and all of a sudden you're just like, I'm going to go, start some other things too. And all of a sudden you're starting to understand how to build a business online. Because we get to number 2. After you figure out you need money to make money. And Bitcoin X4, see these 2 problems I'm talking about, we've solved them both. There isn't like, all right, so next meeting, I'm going to tell you how we're going to begin to solve these problems. No, the problems have already been solved. I solved them 15 years ago, folks. This is why I can do whatever I want. And I'm free. Of course, I work 14 hours a day, 7 days a week, because I friggin' love it. And I'll talk more about that too, because when you finally get rich, you can get friggin' bored. And hence, a lot of people that get rich do some crazy things, right? Jump off a bridge, they go insane. They sit in a room and eat cheeseburgers, Howard Hughes, right? He was worth 500 billion. Or some rich people like Bill Gates, he goes and tries to, cure AIDS and, give 100 million, African kids a malaria shot, right? So there's 2 ways to go with wealth. But when you're finally rich and you're like, you finally reached it. You reached the financial destination of being free, financially free. I mean, you got money in the bank, money coming in. You just sit around and go, so what else am I going to do? So it gets to a point where you're like, well, I'm going to go back and help my team and my businesses get better, right? So you never really, and then people retire, right? They make a killing. They get into this big business. They get stock options. And all of a sudden they're 32 years old, retired. Some of these dudes invested in Facebook and stuff. Some of the dudes were already retired when they invested in Facebook 15 years ago. And when you're 32 with all the money on the planet, you really start to think. And then if you don't do anything, you're bored. So I want to make sure that we're all not really at that point yet. So let's spend the next 3 months, 6 months, 9 months getting to that point, and then we can start having options. Now you can get there faster. How? By leveraging this second thing. How do you refer people? And here's another biggie. 80 to 90% of the people on the planet do not like sales and marketing. They don't like the whole process. And the only way to make money online, and if you own your own business and an entrepreneur, is to sell and market something. So 80 to 90% of the people don't want to sell and market, but the only way to make money, if you want to make money without a job, is to be an entrepreneur and sell and market. Now, here's the kicker. Because remember I told you 15 years ago, 20 years ago, ever since I started my sales and marketing career, in building businesses online and building teams, I already solved that problem. Because I put them into our team. You didn't have to recruit or sponsor. I would help you even start to make money. And then before you knew it, it wasn't sales and marketing. It was sharing and inviting and building relationships. It's a complete 180. Because when people think about sales and marketing, the first thing you do when you walk into a store, what do they say? Oh, how can I help you? No, I'm just looking, right? People hate to be sold, but they love to buy. So and all it is a mindset change. So you're not forcing people, spamming people to join your business so you can make money. You're helping people and sharing and inviting and building relationship so you can help them make money. And guess what? The universe loves that. And guess what they do? They give you money in exchange for that value. Money is just simply an exchange of value. The more value you give, the more value you get. If you're not giving value every day, start thinking, how can I create more value? Well, I can get on Facebook and learn how to like and comment and go in Facebook groups, or I go and do a search in Facebook and just put Bitcoin search. Find people that are in Bitcoin. Start to understand where the movement and the markets are at, the programs. Find people that are in the hot programs. Talk about, hey, how's it going? I saw you in that program. Say USI Tech, BitConnect. Hey, we build those programs with X4. We have an amazing program. Have you heard of Bitcoin X4? So you solve that second problem, not being able to recruit, because you think that it's all, oh, what am I going to do to get you in this car today? You know, oh, and then the hard sale, and then you're spamming people on Messenger, and you're getting blocked and going to Facebook jail, woo, getting your links blacklisted. All that goes away when you realize it's a people business. You don't really like people, and you don't really like building relationships and building and helping, being a part of a team and being a nice person and helpful and, you know, and cool and patient. Back to the job. Seriously, this ain't going to work at any level. If you can go to a job and save up $25,000, $50,000, buy Bitcoin, because that 50,000 will turn into 150,000 in 3 years, right? You don't have to sell candy to a kid. You don't have to do anything. You want to learn this business, you got to start really understanding what it is. It's building relationships. It's being a part of a team and being a part of programs and systems and taking consistent action. It's not throw Robert $150, $200, $500 in Bitcoin and buy all these spots on the board and friggin' disappear for 30 days to a job you don't even like, and come back in 30 days and, where's my money? You told me 30 days. You wonder why we have problems in the world, right? And so I try to, as a psychologist that I am, because oftentimes it's sales is a lot of sociology, psychology. It's just the people business. All I try to do is help people so they can finally realize that I'm here to help them. And then their ego goes down. They drop their guard. And they go, wow, this has never happened to me. I'm making money. Robert's cool. The program's amazing. I may be able to break free. Yes, you can. You ain't going to break free by being a complete maniac jerk, right? Okay, I'm going to go back to the presentation. You can see some of the testimonials. Peggy started with $375 in Bitcoin on October 12th. She has made $3,000 in Bitcoin in 5 weeks. And it never stops. And we'll go into that, where she's going to be, she's going to be a similar thing to a job will be Bitcoin X4. Everyone will be on payroll, believe it or not. You guys will be on a weekly payout because there'll be enough money and the way to control cash flow properly and to keep me sane so I don't have to work 18 hours a day, 7 days a week, doing boards and doing payouts every single minute. We're going to get everyone on a 3-day, 5-day, 1 week payout where you just got money coming in. And then when you start getting money coming in consistently, remember, consistent action creates consistent money. First time I said that, but that's really what starts to happen. If you take consistent action with a proven team and a proven system over a long period of time, money consistently becomes and is coming towards you. And that's called residual income. That is how wealth is created. How do you create residual income? Well, first of all, you probably need to be in multiple streams of income. It'll take quite a while, but you need a team that's constantly working with you and making purchases consistently, whether they're buying more boards, they're buying more packs, they're buying more coin, whatever it is. Money loves circulation. So it runs the whole planet, right? And so we're going to have a big money pot here. And all it is a Bitcoin team network, a payment network that you share in the payments coming in. That's it. And we help each other. This is a crowdfunding donation platform. You come in with free will, you send your money with free will, and you receive money free will, meaning it's based on being a good person. It's not, we didn't sign a contract, so 30-day assurance, and just because you send me money means that you can pound me and treat me like dirt, or like an employee, and expect payout. It doesn't work that way. This is a privilege and not a right to be here. And we invite you in. And so after the 30 days, if you're a little bit grouchy and you're impatient, and I'll go into towards the end, I'll go in some Q&A and things, and I'll tell you this, just so you know, just because you're at 30 days, there's a couple things. You don't get paid instantly. Right now, it's taking 1 to 3 days to process your 30-day transaction. I have to spend literally sometimes 20 minutes to a half an hour taking your position, putting you on a new board, taking you off the other board, putting a new position in, splitting the boards, cycling the boards, finding out your address, seeing what you want to do with your cycling positions. Can you imagine that times 300, 400, 500 people that are all pounding me on Messenger for their cycle assurance? So that's why it's taken 1 to 3 days. But here's the kicker, because I'm a nice guy. First of all, I didn't even need to do the 15 to 30 day assurance, by the way. I could have just left it after 30 days. If you didn't cycle, here's your money back. So cut me some slack, right? Freaking Santa Claus. You're going to be mean to Santa Claus? I hope not. Here's the kicker. Your 30 day is up right now, 12/2. You joined 11/2. You're pounding me on Messenger. Guess what? Your clock for the next 15 or 30 days starts on 12/2, regardless if you ever reach me. If you finally get me to respond after 5 days, your clock for the next 15 or 30 days already started 5 days ago. You now are only 10 days before your first 15-day pay. Make sense? You don't need me to start your clock, but you do need me to send you Bitcoin, right? In order for me to send you Bitcoin, you have to wait in line. I'm getting caught up, and I want to make sure everyone understands that. So, and then when you have someone that joins this business, I talked about it Thursday night, I'm at the point where there ain't no new members coming in until January. Ooh, I'm not going that far. But at the end of the day, when you bring a new member in and they send to the group wallet address, they send their Bitcoin, time, date, stamp. It doesn't matter. Robert could be friggin' gone for a week. It doesn't matter. It's on the hash, time, date, stamp. That's when your 15 and 30 day clock starts. It does not start when you ping me on Facebook 32 million times to have them added to a board. The only time it's mission critical that they're added to a board is if you're sponsoring 10, 15, 20 people, because you want them in the optimal position so you can cycle those people and you can make more money, right? And you can take your money and go join other programs that I don't even know about or pay your bills. But folks, you got to understand that even if that happens, I'm going to put all those 10 people on that board anyway. All right, so enough ranting and raving. But that's the only thing that's impacting this business is the negative mindset and the impatience. And some people are at the point of threatening to call the authorities and Facebook, and they've waited like 2 hours for their 30-day assurance. You think I'm going anywhere? I do videos 3 times a week. I'm online 14 hours a day, 7 days a week. I ain't going anywhere. And I have your Bitcoin. I'll pay you. You just need to be patient. Okay, let me go back. I tell you. And see, I talk about, becoming a career entrepreneur now. Another key is that you're going to become a business owner to a certain degree, and you need to be a team leader and team management. You need to work with people. Some people love that. Some people just like, someone shoot me now, please, right? So if you're not a big, people management person, you still need to be a people person. You still need to be kind of nice. You still need to build relationships, kind of like back in kindergarten when you were meeting, new people, and you shared your peanut butter jelly with them, and they shared their jerky with them, and you became a friend. All you're doing is building friendships. Now, to the next level, when you really get to the point where you're going to be managing, making 6 figures, you need to be at least close to a leader in terms of working with your team, helping them get their questions answered, helping them understand they don't need their board link right away, helping them understand that if you're at a 30-day payout, you may have to wait 2 or 3 days, helping them understand that Robert ain't going anywhere, the program's amazing, this is the best program online, so it's worth the wait. And then you know what I mean? You're taking personal responsibility of helping your team and doing all the things you need to do for the rest of your life. I mean, or at least a year, until the point where you have a big enough team and you have enough cool people on your front line, your management, which is all your top people that you brought in, and they're building their team, which is duplication and replication. Then you can sit back and then take a vacation and be on your cell phone. And all you do is check in with your leaders. Hey, how's it going? How's the business? Check your Bitcoin charts, check your Bitcoin wallet, and go have lobster. That don't happen in 2 weeks, folks. It happens in about a year, 1 year. So hopefully everyone starts to really understand this. And it's so important. I'm doing this for your own good. Seriously. I mean, I'm not trying to be a jerk. Seriously. I'm doing this because I've already been there and done that and had the t-shirt and the visor. I've been doing this ever since I started to walk, it seemed like. And my life's mission is to make sure my family, my kids, have a pretty good life and to help you. That's it. So when I finally rest, to eternity. You know, I was sent here to help. And so, and when I finally get to the resting point, we realize that, you know what, I did whatever I possibly could do to help. That's all we're really here for. Why is this unique? Well, it solves those three biggies right there. I discovered this over the last few years, that even no matter how good your product is, how cool your nutritional is, how cool your ebook is, your video, your high ticket, mid ticket, low ticket, however your cool your pay plan is, your comp plan, whatever it is, they all fail eventually. They fail because they're almost set up to fail, to be perfectly honest with you. They get too wide, they get imbalanced, there's no proper follow me function. It's a mess. Here's a visual. Most matrices, you know, 2x2, 2x8, 2x6, 3x4, 3x5, whatever it is, they just get too wide at the bottom, and each of these people down the bottom need a certain amount of people. So before you know, you have 500 people on the bottom level that all need 20 people. Well, what's 500 times 20? 1,000. What's 1,000 times 20? 20,000. And everyone just makes no money. It unravels from the bottom up, and they all join the next hot launch, hoping that they're at the top. And then they join the next launch at the top, but they have runaway legs happening. So they're here. They were the third person that joined, and there's 18,000 people in the company, and there's no one under them because the other 17,982 are over here, completely in balance, and there's runaway legs. There's also a follow me function. Some programs really preach this. You know, it's the ultimate. And it can be, if it's done right, like at Bitcoin X4, where your leaders are not over here building their own boards as they sponsor a bunch of people, because they've learned the whole secrets of building a big list and a big network and driving value. And they have a big following, and they can just pick a program out of the air and sign up 1,000 people, right? Well, how do they do that? Well, it took them through 5 to 8 years to learn and do all the things that everyone's struggling to do, and they figured it all out. And they started to become leaders, and people started to follow them. But I digress. So this person is one of those leaders. They have all these boards that they're building because they're sponsoring a bunch of people, and they're cycling and starting new boards. The only way that you're going to follow that leader over to his next board or her next board is you also need to sponsor people, or you still can play on the spillover. But oftentimes systems are, once they cycle out of this board, that board, they no longer help that board. You're on your own. They go over and start their own board, and it's a wasteland here. This is why it doesn't work. With our program, the leader comes right under you, and then you will go up and come under them. And on top of this, this is not a wasteland, because every single person eventually who joins this company or cycles comes under you. It's a complete 100% pure team build. When you personally sponsor people, they'll go on your board to a certain point, but eventually every single person that cycles in the company goes under the next top position. This is why it can last for a very, 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 very long time. What do you get when you join? You get the private group chat. We're at number 6 group chat now, because there's only 250 per chat, so we filled up 5 in the first 5 or 6 weeks. So we're approaching about 1,400 members. Group 6 chat is about half filled already. So people ask me, oh, why don't you go to WhatsApp or whatever the heck that is? And then, I just like to be centralized. Centralized meaning this program runs on 3 things, folks. Facebook is where 110% of the program runs, pretty much. The other 2 things is your wallet, your Bitcoin wallet, and my wallet. And if you're nice, you get my wallet fills your wallet up. If you're not, you get your refund and you move on. And then a Google Drive is the next biggie, that's where all the boards are located. And you get your board link, it's called. So as soon as you join your little 2x2 board, if you join multiple boards, you get your links, you know where you're at, and they update in real time. The only time you ask for a new board link is when it says it's in the trash. Why is it in the trash? Because the board's split and you moved up and you're getting closer to get paid. You also get a replicated web page, which you can then get and share with other people. Let's get right into the biggie, which is really just a game changer in so many levels, because all this matrix talk that I just talked about, right? That's just icing on the cake. It gives you and the leaders and anyone that can invite other people to make money quicker, because I'll put those people on your board so you cycle faster. But guess what? Remember what I was talking about? 80 to 90% of the people on the planet don't like to sell or market, and a lot of those folks can only recruit maybe 1 or 2 people. I mean, how many people have you recruited in any business in the last year, right? Some people are thinking, well, the last deal I was in, I recruited 20 people. Well, most people, they recruit 1 or 2 people if they're lucky, right? And so how do you recruit more people? Well, you get a part of a program, and all you do is invite, and you start learning the process of recruiting is just inviting and sharing, and then let the program and the website and the Zooms do the selling for you. It's so important. Cycle Assurance was brought in because I understand that it's going to take somebody at least 3 months to even understand how to recruit. And I want you to make money for the next 3 months. So I give you fish so you can eat, right? But then I also teach you to fish so you can feed yourself for the rest of your life. That's the secret to success in any business. If you're not helping people then, succeed or feel better, your business doesn't have a hope, no matter what you're selling, right? So option 1, after 15 days, all paid members can request a payout. I'll show you the payout here in the next page. And then there's option 2, after 30 days, you get a full cycle. Now, I may need to start putting, instead of telling everyone that, you're not eligible if you joined on 11/13 and it's already been 15 days and you're pinging me on Facebook for the 15-day payout. No, you didn't qualify. If you joined on 11/15, then you ping me on Facebook and you want the 15-day payout. Someone already just pinged me and they got the 15-day payout, and you get a new position. You have to join on or before 11/15. Does that make sense? But the other thing I was going to say is down below here, I was going to put a little disclaimer. None of this is guaranteed to anybody. That's just why I call it assurance plan. It's not a guarantee, meaning if you're not going to be, it's going to get to a point where if I don't really even see you around, you're not liking and commenting and juicing and sharing and starting to really take positive actions toward becoming just a networker. I'm really looking for my private team to be Bitcoin network entrepreneurs, not someone that just joins and they're Oscar the Grouch and they treat me like dirt. Then seriously, folks, I'll just ask you for your wallet and I'll refund your money. Why do I do that? Because I'm nice. And second of all, you have no grounds for anything, because if you ever do you want to be bitter and be hateful and try to shut this whole program down for 1,500 members that are finally making money, whoever comes to me, I'm going to say, I sent that guy that money, his or her money back. I'm not, everyone's making money. And they're like, oh yeah, well, okay, sorry to bother you. Right? There ain't nothing that requires me to pay anybody at the end of the day. Option 1, after 15 days, all paid members can request a payout, and then you're paid as follows. So I did change the wording here a little bit. Your original purchase amount plus 50% of that original purchase, plus a new spot. So the example would be $25 spot after 15 days. 50% of 25 is what? $12.50. It's like, math class or fractions. It's like, wait a minute, wait, what? 25? Yeah, okay, $12.50. So what's 25 plus $12.50? $37.50. And so I round up. So I pay you 40, right? And so I'll show you the chart on the next page. But essentially, you get your original purchase plus 50% of your original purchase. It's simple as that. Here's the payouts. So now, another interesting thing I was thinking about as I was getting ready to start this meeting is that things are really starting to change in terms of if you have some extra Bitcoin, it used to be where you kind of wanted to test the waters and come in at 25 and 50 and see if the program, and oftentimes it's all the money you had. But if you have a little extra Bitcoin, you may want to start looking at doing $200, $400, $800 boards and getting that kind of payout in 15 days, right? And then over the 15 days, plan where you're going to use that Bitcoin. Well, I'm going to take 100 and go into USI. I'm going to do 100 into BitConnect, and I'm going to take the other 400. And you already get a new spot to earn again. I'm going to take the other 400 to go Christmas shopping. Does that make sense? You can start leveraging bigger money for bigger money. If you don't have big money, then leverage small money to get big money, so you can get big money. This is all the levers that you can begin to pull with this program. And you really start to understand the power of money, the power of time, and the power of compound interest. It's the 8th wonder of the world. Einstein, once again, Einsteinium. Option 2, after 30 days, you get the full cycle. And then starting on Tuesday night, our next presentation, there'll be a little disclaimer down here. disclaimer, very, very important. All these are predicated on being a nice person and being an active participant of the team. If you want passive earnings, I'll live with it a cycle or two if you're nice, but I'll begin to talk to you about, I really need active people in our team, helping our team grow, helping you learn skills. And then another requirement will be most people will need to be in our other main long-term programs. If you're already in those programs, great. If not, you need to start looking at, because this is ultimately for everyone's benefit to get to a point where you can get in making $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month, $100,000 a year. That may not even be possible with Bitcoin X4, just to let you know. It's going to be possible if you start leveraging the other programs. Bitcoin X4 is just the starting point of building funds up, but eventually it does get to a point where Bitcoin X4, like some folks, will begin to pay you $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a month residually because you've cycled and have so many boards that you're on this like weekly or monthly consistent payout schedule. But in order to see, when you start making $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month, all you want to do is what? Make $10,000 a month, make $20,000 a month. And that may not even be possible with X4 is what the moral of that whole story is. You in the meantime, you should be in other programs getting to the point where you're making enormous money, like some of my buddies in USI making $50,000, $80,000, $100,000 a month in USI. Here's the payout for two. Hold on one second. I have a little dog, a little Yorkie. You need to jump up. I'm outside. Here's the payouts for the full 30-day cycle. Now, a lot of folks that have been members know this cycle payout. Well, another big thing that it's not necessarily big, but when it gets ready for you to cycle, be really clear what you want to do with your money. I spent almost 1 hour with someone that cycled their $25 and $50 board. I did it because I'm a patient guy and I understand it's new, but you really just need to understand that when you cycle a $25 and a $50 board, this is what you have to play with. You automatically get a $25 and $50 spot, so that goes out the door. That's not even an option. And then you have the 75 and the 150. You add it together. It's 225 in Bitcoin. I'll send it to you instantly, so you can take that to buy some Christmas presents, or any combination you want. You can buy a $100 spot, and then I send you 125. You can buy 250 spots, and I send you, the 125. You can buy a 25 spot and 250s, and I send you 100. Does that make sense? Just write down on a piece of paper or something that when you get ready to cycle, if you have multiple boards and things, so when you're on Messenger, I only have a certain amount of time in a day to help you, but I'm here to help you. And so I spent an hour with this gal, and then she apologized afterwards and didn't, because she kept. See, what happens is people realize that, oh my God, I finally got money. It's almost like being on that show, Let's Make a Deal or something, and you have a certain amount of money and you win, and you get to shop, you get to pick from the TV or the sofa or the car or the vacation, and you're just like, all of a sudden you have money, let me get the car, let me get the vacation, let me get a piece of jerky. So all of a sudden you're like shopping. But what the whole point of all that is just make sure that you know what you want to do with your money, because I'm here to help you. Soon, if you're in the company for a couple months, and all you do every single time that you cycle is take all your money out, I'm going to start having discussions with you where it's going to be kind of required to start putting more money back into the program, both for your benefit and for the company's benefit. I'm always constantly working on cash flow. And the only reason I do that, once again, what I say in most of my meetings, every single thing that I've done in this business and everything that I continue to do is in your best interest. And sometimes it's not necessarily, good news, but it's ultimately for long-term benefit for you. Okay. Sorry, I'm going on and on sometimes, but it's so important, these points. And unfortunately, I'm preaching to the choir. I have 100 people attending right now, and I have 1,400 members. Where are the other 1,300? Well, they're not here. They're watching football, or they're throwing Bitcoin over the fence to me, and they can't wait to send me about 10 messages 10 days from now when their 30 days are up, so they can get their money and go spend it, and then wonder what happened to their money come January after Christmas is over, and they maxed out their credit cards. Or they're just super busy, and they're building, 5 other businesses on Facebook, and they're just using X4 for a little side money, side game, right? And I start to smell that out too. That's not necessarily a big issue, as long as you're nice and we can build a friendship. Then maybe eventually we'll work some of those other businesses together. Who knows? But if you're working other side businesses, another biggie is obviously you don't come to our group and then start messaging people in the group. Hey, have you heard about this program? That's called poaching, and you're immediately removed from the program, and I may not even refund your money. If you're out building other businesses, that's fine, as long as you come in, and if you're working with us, it is a privilege to be here. You have to be nice, and it's all good. So that's a reoccurring theme, because the reason I'm saying it is it's literally at the point now where it's 3 out of 10 people are just not good people. And because everyone's inviting everybody, they're not really being picky. They just want to get as many people in this program so they can make a bunch of money. No one really cares. And I'm not necessarily talking about you. Like I said, I'm preaching to the choir. Most of the people that are attending right now are good people. They're my best members. That's why they're attending. And that's what's going to be part of the reasons why you're going to succeed in life, is you're taking the necessary actions and making the sacrifices now for long-term benefits. Okay. So here's some payouts that happen. I have to update this. In fact, some of the folks that are going to be cycling could be today or tomorrow. Once I'm finding, just as I was saying earlier, there was a big 30-day snowball effect that happened in this business. In early November, 30 days ago, we really started to hit critical mass. We had a lot of people come in, right? So how do you start from a company that starts with me and about 3 other people? And then by the time we hit November, we're at 500, 600, 700 people. Well, guess what? That's 500 people messaging me on Facebook over the last 3 days wanting their 30-day assurance. That's a lot of messages. And then people, that's why everyone needs to understand that it sometimes can take 1 to 3 days. And some people, if they wait 1 to 3 hours, they're about ready to go ballistic and throw their laptop through the window, right? So part of this is, learning life skills and learning how to be patient and knowing that I'm not going anywhere and it's just the way it is. When you have a really good thing, most often you have to kind of wait for it and you have to get in line and kind of earn it. And part of being a part of our membership, it's not, just instant pay right on 30 days. Allie Reynolds, I think she had a comment in the chat just recently. I think she's up to about $2,000 in earnings. This is just part of it. Portia Precious, she's brought in several family members. In fact, I just paid, I want to say her son-in-law, maybe her son, I don't remember which, but about over $500 because his board cycled. Another one of her family members just messaged me. He's up for cycling. She's made over 2,000 as well, just in the last 5 or 6 weeks. Will Henderson starting, knocking it out of the park. He's very helpful. He's one of the main dudes that builds our Wix pages. He's like one of the admins. You can go to him, don't bother him too much because he is super busy, much like myself. But just, some questions, he points you in the right directions. We also have the Knights. I need to probably start putting up their pictures and really thanking them for all the great work that they're doing. And I may not be able to name them all, but there's like T and Linda Knott, Linda Hillen, Michelle Williams. Who else? And I may need another couple of Knights. And Knights, what they do, Knights of the Round Table for the Bitcoin X4 program, is they manage and police, to be perfectly honest with you, all the chats. So people don't spam our group or, start pounding group chat on where's Robert? Where's Robert? I need my board link. I need my board link. I need my payout. Where's Robert? Where's Robert? Well, Robert's working 14 hours a day, 7 days a week. And he's actually on Facebook right now, but he doesn't have time to help you because he's helping 150 other people. So that's their job. And then they also, I think I will assign 1, if not 2 of them as admins of the Facebook group. And we're going to get a better process there. I have 300 people waiting to be added to the Facebook group. The Facebook group is really not that critical, to be perfectly honest with you. It's like a billboard, and I post like testimonials, or I'll post the Zoom stuff, but I post that all in chat. Chat is where it's at. I'll be doing some more updated training on how we really leverage chat in terms of liking, commenting, juicing, and helping you go out and find other network other Bitcoin network entrepreneurs to build your business. So I'll start doing a little bit more on Facebook marketing and things coming up. Bruce Walden, Bruce and I have been working fairly closely. I think he has a fair amount of his team that we're setting up now. They're going through their cycling. He started with a pretty good team, all $100 boards, and has made really good money. Here's some payouts that go out. I pay you instantly right to your Bitcoin account. This was a $500 payment I made. This is a little dated. I think yesterday alone, I probably sent close to $3,000 in Bitcoin. I'm sending thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars in Bitcoin every day, folks. I've sent out probably close to $100,000 in Bitcoin to my members. Hush, hush. I run the risk of the haters reporting me, and I may actually get emails or calls. Oh, well. I'm a pretty honest and ethical guy, and everyone that I owe money to gets their money. How do you start? You pick a board or boards, right? So if you want to start with just a $200 board, then send $200 to the Bitcoin plus fees. Your fees are added automatically on your wallet, so don't ask me what the fees are. I have no clue. It changes instantly because it's based on a miner fee. And Bitcoin price changes instantly, right? So everyone should have wallets that automatically computate the fee. So if you want to do 25, 50, 100, and 200, right? That's 200 plus 100 is 300 plus 50 is 350 plus 25 is 375. You send 375 plus fees to the group wallet. You send me a message through Facebook and connect with me on Messenger, or you connect through your sponsor that connects you to a night in the group chat, and you get your hash ID of 375 to me, and I ask you who your sponsor is, and then I put you on a $25, $50, $100, and $200 board, and then I send you 4 board links that show you your spot on each of those boards. Bing, bang, boom. Easy peasy. You times that by 552 people, right? You may have to wait a little bit. This is why I said earlier in the meeting is when you send that 375 through Bitcoin and through your wallet, and you have the hash, that's when your 15 and 30 days start. And so 2 days from now, you finally get a hold of Robert, and Robert puts you on the boards, and you send your board links. You are already earning the last 2 days. You now only have 13 days to get paid, irregardless of when you get your board links. This is one of the most important, critical information that you need to share to all your people. And to everybody. We may have nights, if you're online right now and listening, you need to make a big post and post it every 3 hours. And I'll help you do that. Is that there's 2 things. If there's a 30-day assurance, first of all, I may have to show you what to write, because at the end of the day, there's no guarantee for 30-day cycle insurance for anybody, period. If you do qualify by being nice and we have a good conversation, I still want you to be a part of our group and team, then you're going to wait 1 to 3 days to get paid out. Irregardless. The other big thing you need to post is that when people bring in new people and they sponsor new people, it also is 1 to 2 days. I'm throwing these numbers out because that's the market reality. That means I don't have enough time in the day to do it, and I want people's expectations to be in line with reality, right? Not like, what do you mean 1 to 2 days? It should take 2 seconds. When you have 500 people wanting board links, it doesn't take 2 seconds. And people ask me, well, why don't you automate all this? Because I don't want to. Every other program that fails and you lose your money and they steal your money are automated. What good is that? And that opens up a whole new can of worms. You get a program that, oh, what's my password? What's my username? Oh, can you move that person over here? No. Let me put my wallet in my back office that I'll never get paid on. So it's a whole nother ball of wax. So, okay. So I digress. Let me crack out, and we'll get into some Q&A. So sorry, I get a little crazy, but it's so important that if everyone just, okay, I get it. I think one of the biggest things that we all can have, and it is what it is that gratitude of like, oh my God, I think I finally found it. Because you have. Because this program is going to go for quite a while. And let's say in February, there's 10,000 people, and I finally said, you know what, we're now at the point where I need to finally hire some people, even get an office, forget all that. But there's a constant flow and a retooling, just once again for your best interest, to make sure that all I really want to get to is that I have a certain amount, let's say 3,000 members all making at least $1,000 to $2,000 a month, right? And so how do you manage all that? You manage it by people being patient and understanding it's going to take 1 to 2 days, maybe 3 days to get your money. Your money's still earning and aggregating in the background. You get your money. Now, here's another thing that I brought up a couple nights ago is that the funnest thing in life is expectation. Once you get what you're going after, it's like, right? So, you know, when you're in Christmas Eve, right, you're having your cocoa, you're looking at the tree, and you're watching the Christmas Carol show, or you're watching, you know, The Grinch That Stole Christmas, and you're getting ready to go to sleep. That's the essence of life right there, man. You get up, you tear those, you know, you have kids, right? You were a kid once, I think. You tear your present open, man. You see, oh my God. I'll never forget my son's face when I got him an Xbox for Christmas. I think I told him, we had a conversation over the week before Christmas. Was like, I don't think it's going to happen, you know, and, you know, yada, yada, you know. I didn't think it was. And then all of a sudden, you know, I got a bonus at work or something, and it was a total secret. And I called him, and then he opened up everything. And he was just like, he's super happy because, you know, he had, you know, a model airplane. He had this. And I said, oh, what's this? It's one other present, you know. But here's the net. And I don't want to take away from all that, because there's nothing better, right, than that essence of pure happiness. That's what we're after here at X4. It's like, I want to get everyone to that point of just the pure essence of happiness. But after you got the Xbox and you're playing with it, you know, so what's for lunch? And all of a sudden, all that expectation and happiness is now satisfied. And then from there, it's on to the next. I want Xbox 2, right? Or your iPhone. It's like iPhone 7, iPhone 8, iPhone 10, iPhone 11. Ooh, I can't wait for iPhone 11. All they do is add like an app and make your battery work a little bit better, and then, you know, $1,000. And that's how they keep their quarterly number running. It's interesting because another thing is when you buy products, a lot of products, depending upon the product, of course, are meant to last, you know, for 30, 60 days, and you have to rebuy it, because all public companies work on a quarterly system. Every 3 months, they have to report to the street and their stock price. So a lot of their products that they sell are run on that system. This is kind of interesting note. But let me look at some questions here, and then we'll update you on some things that are coming up. Let me see here. I'll go up to the top. Yeah, so what I was just saying about the nights and helping people understand the timing. Another analogy. Have you ever been to Disneyland, Disney World? How about going to Harry Potter World at Disney World, and between Christmas and New Year's, and you come in, you just landed in Florida, you got into your hotel, you go over to Harry Potter. You think you're going to just walk right in, right? Not if you don't know Walt Disney or his cousin, right? You're going to get in. If you're lucky, you get a fast pass. And fast pass is when you go to Disneyland, is that they give you a piece of paper and it says, okay, here it is, 11 o'clock on the West Coast. It's 2 o'clock on the East Coast. They give you a thing and it says, come back at 5 o'clock. It's like, wait, what? And so, but it's cool because when you come back at 5 o'clock, you have another line to wait in, but it's shorter. So the whole point of that is when you come to Bitcoin X4, it used to be where there's 50 members, and I was just making people's boards and sending people's Wix pages and sending them Bitcoin. It was a friggin' party, and everyone was just instant gratification. Now I have 1,400 people. Why? Because this program rocks. But with all good things, you know, it takes time. And you have to be patient, and everyone has to wait in the fast pass line. So when you get ready to come in, you're going to get a ticket and say, okay, come back tomorrow and we'll add you to the board. If you have a 30-day assurance, you get a piece of paper. Come back Monday morning and we'll pay you out and get you some new boards. But your clock for your 15 days started today. So these are just some of the things so instead of as soon as you join, you don't instantly get a boinking. And as soon as your 30 days is up, I mean, some people are time date stamping and they're sending me a message here, and they send me the thing, and it's like literally, you know, it's like midnight, 12:01, boom, they send the messages. It's like, so I'm just telling you, it's another day or two. Or I get caught up in these certain zones I get into, and it's someone that's super active and super productive, and This is the way the world works, by the way. You ever had a boss that liked someone else better than you? And God forbid it was something to do with, what they fired Matt Lauer for. But what I'm saying is there's always this type of, and the only reason why typically, someone will like someone a little bit better is because they help more. They're just better people. And so I don't want to get to a point where, but I have to do that. It's not based on, your race or your color. It's based on how you are as a person. Are you nice? Are you helpful? Are you active? And then you have a little bit higher priority in terms of being a part of our private privileged team. And then I will help you, and I'll see you in the queue, and then also someone that's been with me for a year or two. Obviously, I'm going to help them. This is why everyone has to just wait 1 to 2 days, 1 to 3 days. Even my favorite peeps that I like need to wait sometimes 1 or 2 days. Linda, we just worked together like 2 hours yesterday because we got a little bit behind. She has like 30 people on her team, and it took me almost 2 hours just to process like half of those. Because every time you got to understand that when if you had like 2 or 3 boards, that's like 45 minutes to process your cycle assurance. So I have to go find you first of all. Then I have to take you out of your position because you're no longer in that position because you've now cycled. So I have to put you. Then the other biggie, folks, is what's happening is I don't know really who sponsored you, to be honest with you, not to hurt your feelings. So I ask you, and then guess what? You ping me and ping me and ping me, and we finally get together, and I ask you for your sponsor, and you disappear for 6 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours. You finally come online at midnight when I'm asleep, and you say, oh, it was Barbara. So I sleep 8 hours. I get back. You're in a queue now of 222 people. So you need to have this information when you get ready for the cycle assurance, is that first of all, your time, date, stamp, proof that you came in, what boards you're on, and who your sponsor is. Because what happens is, in order for me to, for instance, when I take you off the 25 board, I search to put you in a new spot in the 25 so your clock can start again, right? Well, if I don't know your sponsor, I'll put you at the top of whoever is the lucky person that's going to get. And what's happening is I have about 32 boards after this meeting. That's my Saturday. We're watching Tiger Woods come back to golf finally after 300 days. The guy's rocking right now. He's like he's one of my, I'm a big golfer. I've been golfing for 30 years. I'm a scratch golfer. Of course, I go out now. I've been lucky to break 80, but I was shooting par for 30 years. Club champion, the whole 9 yards, tried to go on tour. So friggin' love golf. And Tiger Woods is my hero, right? Him and Jack Nicklaus. Of course, Tiger, he had some transgressions, but who hasn't, right? And I'm a big forgiver, and I give you a second shot unless you're really bad. Then I just refund your money and you disappear out of my life because I don't need it. But that's what I'll be doing. I'm taping it right now. He's playing in the Bahamas. He's already like 7 under after 2 days. He's hitting the ball 350 yards. He went through like 5 knee surgeries, 4 back surgeries. He hasn't played for a year, and he has his 2 daughters with him watching him today. But anyway, I digress. That's what I'm going to be doing. But on top of that, on my laptop, and I'll be working for the next 11 hours. And I'm going to be processing these 30, 40 boards on top of 252 messages asking for their cycle. So when you come to me, make sure you have time, date, stamp, proofing. Don't send me a novel. And don't come to me and say, I think my 30 days are up. I'm not sure. Sorry, dude. Come back when you know. I don't track any of it. I go off your information. So you say, here it is, Robert. I came in at 11:01. Here's my time, date, stamp. Here's my hash. Here's my positions. And here's my sponsor. And so I have those positions. Then I go to the boards. Then I find them. Then I take them off. Then I put them on another board. Sometimes I'll take them off one board, put them on another. That board cycles. It takes me 10 minutes to notify that person that cycled that they cycled. They're like, woo, or they're not on Facebook for 2 days. And 2 days later, they go, woo, just send me my Bitcoin. I got to run. And I have to split that board. Then I have to go back to their next position. And then I don't know where to put that next position because it didn't tell me who their sponsor was, but this person luckily did. So I know, and now I search that person on the 1,500 boards I have to find that person on the 50 spot. I take their 50 spot off their old board. I put it onto the new board, activate it, And then I'm starting to put dates next to their name. So I send you the new 25 board, the new 50 board linked. Then if you have 100 cycle assurance, I take your 100 spot, do the same thing. So can you imagine doing that for 500 people? Now you're starting to taste it, right? Why I do it? Because this is my life's journey. This is why I'm on earth. It's to help you. And if we can't get along, that's a problem, right? So anyway, hopefully, and once again, 1,300 people aren't watching this right now on my team. That's a lot of people, man. Have you ever been in a program that's, yeah, there's programs out there. USI has 280,000 people. They have like 300 million in the bank. Now that's, if I had 300,000 people, you know what I mean? So there's comparisons all over. But these programs that start, you got 1,400 people, man. And I'm doing it by myself, and the nights. So oftentimes I'll go over, the questions, how long is the cycle, and all this other stuff earlier on in my life. And everyone knows how long it takes a cycle. Now, the other thing that we do need to know, though, other than all that rant and raving I did, I just want people to know what's going on. So when you cycle, it's like Christmas morning. And getting back to the Christmas presents, ripping them off, and the Xbox and all that, when I send you your Bitcoin, you're freaking happy. Sometimes it's like the first time you've ever made money ever. But after you get your Bitcoin, you gotta wait another 15 days to get paid again. It's like, so what do you do? Well, you spend the next 15 days learning the business. Go to Bitcoin's news sites. Go to, start learning about Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies. What are the hot cryptocurrencies? Go to Facebook. Start networking with people. Start sharing more. Before you know it, you got a few people that came into the business, and then not 15 days, you cycle in 3 days. I send you more Bitcoin. You get on another board. Then you start sharing it with some more people. Then you cycle again. I send you more Bitcoin, right? Then you're starting to get where it's at. You don't just throw the Bitcoin over the fence, go watch football, and then, count the minutes. There is nothing longer in life than waiting to get paid, right? It's like waiting to go to the dentist. And in terms of, actually that comes a little bit quick sometimes. That's a bad analogy. But I'm saying how painful it is to wait to get paid, and I understand that. But once you get paid, man, and you take that money, you go bottle service, you buy your Nikes, you go Christmas shopping, you pay your rent, it's over. All that essence of expectation and excitement is gone. Now you've made money and you spent it. Now you have nothing. Now you have to wait again, right? So that's life. But see, the more that you execute and the more you consistently network and build the money up, the more you'll have more of a balance in life. Because Tony Robbins talks about this a lot. The human condition. All we're trying to do is avoid pain and increase pleasure. That's all life is. Pleasure by making money, being with your family, sharing love, starting a new relationship, having a son or daughter, right? And then there's the pain of losing loved ones, losing money. And so it's constantly this. How do you balance it out? Sometimes it's tough because life is just the way it is. And there's a lot of crap that happens. It's all here. So it really doesn't matter necessarily what happens to you. It's how you think about what happens. If you have mind control, this is what Tiger Woods, there was no other golfer on the planet Earth since the history of time had a better mind. His mom was a big Buddhist. He did a lot of meditation. But most athletes, they talk about being in the zone, right? That's mind control. It's like, Hank Aaron used to say when he was getting ready to hit, when he was really in the zone, everything slowed down. And the ball came at him, and he could almost see where he's going to put it in the outfield. Tiger Woods, same thing, when he's over a putt and to win the Masters for the 5th time. Everything slows down, and he actually could see the line. And he said that one major championship he won, the only thing he was thinking about was his mom. And this is another analogy I make, is that when you finally get to a point in your life, like, what would you do for your mom to help her? Some of you don't even have a mom. My mom's still alive, thank God. She's like the rock. She lives on the East Coast. I'm on the West Coast, but she has a lot of family over there. She's almost 80 years old. You know, obviously you do anything for your mom, right? You die for your mom. What would you do for your kids? When you get to a point where you are that same essence of wanting to help your mom turns into how you want to help people online to make money and to build a business, bingo, you're there. Because what happens is there's so much me. And then when you go and hang out with your family, it's all about them. You go to work, it's all about me. You come online, it's all about me. You go hang out with your family, it's them. You see this? When you get to the point where you're online, it's them. Bingo. Then you just execute every day, building stronger relationships and helping people. And the money comes. Money flows towards value and people helping you. What does all this mean? Well, when you're in X4, you come in with the attitude and the mindset that, you know, I'm here to not only help myself. Obviously, it's all about you need to get yourself in the proper place so you can help your mom. You know, if you make some good money before, you know, you have 3 weeks before Christmas, hopefully you'll make some money. You can buy mom a gift. Right? Or send her a couple $100. You got to be able to do what you got to do first, right? So you do have to help yourself to a certain degree. But what I'm saying, the mindset is then once you get to a point where you're good, you're solid, you help others. You just see it everywhere. But there's very few people that understand that, and they don't want to understand it. It's all about just the ego and me. Okay. So just quick updates. Yeah, we're humming just like anything. The other couple things that I mentioned briefly is that if you have, just to reiterate, when you bring new people in, another big thing is getting better, is that you're the sponsor of them. So you want to make sure that they understand that your new job is to help them get plugged in. And plugged in takes 3 to 5 days now. It used to take 3 to 5 hours. Now it's 3 to 5 days. You know, things have changed. Remember the Disney Fest? Waiting for Harry Potter to walk down the Lolly Alley, whatever that's called, right? You and 10,000 other people want to walk down that alley right now. And so you got to have that mindset of being patient. And so when you get your new people in, make sure they understand the timing. Also, how you change their thinking is that it ain't about necessarily you getting plugged in and getting on the board, because right now, as soon as you send your Bitcoin, that's when your 15-day clock starts. If you wait 2 days, who cares? If you have 150 people joining and you want to make even more money in those 2 days, that's another thing. But that doesn't happen ever. I have 1,400 members, and there's been the most anyone has ever personally sponsored is like maybe 20. And woohoo, right? So there's only about 10 or 15 people in the entire company that sponsor more than 5. So when you come in and get a board link, the only time you really need a board link is when you're sponsoring people. If you're not sponsoring people, who gives a crap? You know, I almost got to the point a couple nights ago, you know what? I'm throwing all the boards away. I'm just going to make it a 15 to 30-day program. Wow. I talk about being bored. I'd actually be able to go play golf. I wouldn't have anything to do. And I'm thinking about it more and more, but at the end of the day, I don't want to remove the 2x2 matrix aspect to this, because guess what? I'm not just be a HIPAA, HYIP, right? Oh, give Robert money, and every 15 to 30 days, he'd give you some more money, and you all make money. It removes the whole dynamic of team building and being able to reward people that bring other people in, because what it does is it brings them on your board so you can cycle faster. So it removes the whole dynamic of being able to accelerate your earnings. So this is why you got to understand is that I have all the best aspects of all programs into one. And then this is just the beginning, right? I talk about this analogy when you go to an amusement park and you have to show your ticket, right? And if your ticket's not right or you didn't pay enough money, you're gone. Or it even goes beyond that, where X4 is like the entry point. Your ticket is to join the 25, 50, 100, 200, 300, 400 board, $800 board, whatever it is. But then in order to get to the park and get to the rides, right, go to Harry Potter World, go to the water slides, go to the, you know, all the fun stuff, you got to go to the first little staging area where you got to, you know, clean the toilets up, clean the dirty plates. You got to do a little something, you know, housekeeping, and you got to kind of earn your spot, right? And then you get to the point where you can go start riding on some rides. And that's where it's 3 months, 6 months from now, where you're doing all the right things. You're a really good, clean, honest, ethical, hardworking person, and you're a great team member, and you're inviting and helping others. And all of a sudden the universe is like, man, I'm liking this person. Here's all the love, right? Universe don't like people that are just me, 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 me. Remember the me, me, them, 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 family? So important, man. It's just like, that's the biggest key, because making money online, you know, obviously, you know, I solve the fact that if people don't, because what I do is I go after 80 to 90% of the market. 80 to 90% of the market that come online to make money. First of all, they don't even know what Bitcoin is. They can barely spell it. But once they know what Bitcoin is, they can't get enough of it. So that's a whole nother dynamic. But when they come online, 80 to 90% of people come online have like $100. They ain't got no money to make money. And then back in the day, it used to be, if you've got at least $500 or $1,000 to start a business, stay in your job until you save up enough. And then also realize that that 500 or 1,000 may be gone in a month. So don't quit your job. So it's been rough. And then with this Bitcoin market right now, and if you're in the right program, man, it's a game changer. There ain't no high ticket, mid ticket videos, ebooks, affiliate, yada, yada, yada. All that BS is gone. Of course, if you join the wrong Bitcoin program, poof, the money's gone instantly. And that's why you stick with guys like me. Now, there's some programs that I've built in the past, disappeared, gone. Admin 404. Made it probably $50 million and ran off with the money. How do you know that? Well, obviously, I hang with a lot of the top people online. And everyone hangs that make good money online. They know, and they do the due diligence, and they have people flying out and meeting with CEOs. We see the trading. You know, there's a lot of due diligence that can happen. That's just why it's so important looking at the 5 people you hang out with. That predicates what you do in life. My 5 people is my dog, my wife, and my 3 kids. No, just kidding. But, you know, it's kind of true. But, you know, the other 5 people I can list, I won't list them now, but there's people online that are my top 5. And I go to their Facebook, I see their timeline, I see what they're doing, I see their posts, I'll message them, hey, what's up, what's been going on lately? Oh, my buddy just flew to Italy. 2018 is going to be the company to be in, you know. And then my other buddy, of course, we're maybe building and going along with Ormeus. Ormeus has their own token. They have bot trading, Bitcoin, crypto. My other buddy, yeah, they flew to Italy, met the CEO. It's going to be a huge, huge company where you can trade cryptos and stocks, bonds, and the whole 9 yards. And then there's USI Tech. Then there's BitConnect, right? And then there's Mint Builder that just launched yesterday. I have about 162 people in the business, and I've just put only about 10 set up their auto ship, which is buying either a silver coin or a gold coin. And it's like 120 something bucks a month. You become a student builder, and I'm already building the power leg. So out of 162 people, I had about 11 people upgrade. So I put those 11 people. So the person at the top now have 10 people volume underneath them. So some of you listening registered for free back in the free days where, woo, you can register for Mint Builder for free. But it's an amazing company. I'm building with 2 big leaders. You can come in with Bitcoin and you get paid out in Bitcoin. But in the process, your auto ship and the way you start to earn commissions and you earn precious collectible gold and silver. You got to own assets, folks. You either have to own a house, own gold, own silver, or own Bitcoin. That is the wealth creation going forward in the economy. You either own a business as an entrepreneur and make crazy money. You own a house and hope that it appreciates in value and get tax write-offs, or you own gold, or you own silver, or you own Bitcoin. Those are the 5 or 6 things in order to build wealth. How do you get there when you have no money? You start with X4. You work your way up. You get into other programs. Okay, so how are we doing on here? Let me see if I have any questions, if you want to type any. But, you know, just so net and give you some updates. I'm thinking, you know, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday is okay, but it seems like I just did one of these 2 days ago, you know. But I think it's good that what I may do is 2 nights a week do for like prospects, and then have 1 or 2 during the week for all just paid members. Because what I'm doing is I'm mixing it up a little bit where prospects are coming in, they don't even know me, and you invited them in, and all I'm doing is ranting and raving about all the 1 to 3 days and this and that. And if you're a nice person, you get kicked out. You guys send you your refund, I block you. But you have to understand that there's only certain amount of time in the day that I get to talk to my team at 1,300. How do you communicate to 1,300 people when you have, now it's almost 1,400 people. I have 1,400 people in my program, and only 100 are on this meeting. How do I communicate with those other 1,300? I don't. I'm hoping that they go to YouTube and watch the recordings, and what's happening is I make some unlisted and some public. And the ones that I'm starting to make public, I'm getting 5, 6, 7, 800 views. And half of those people viewing that is people that are following me, and they're coming in. And I'm getting 10, 15, 20 people a day coming out of YouTube and coming out of Facebook wanting to join the company. Where do I put them? Under you. Right? And this is just the beginning. X4 is just the beginning. It's where you start making 500, 1,000, 2,000. Then you start putting in USI, and BitConnect, and Mint Builder. And you start being a part of a team. And then we start having other meetings. And then we become we are the unified Bitcoin team. Because the only way to leverage, to use pure team leverage, the only way to turn $25 in Bitcoin into $6,400 in Bitcoin, right? You can't plant it in your backyard and go, water it every day, and then 2 months later you dig up your Bitcoin and it's worth $6,400. You do it by leveraging your money with a team and a system consistently. Can you turn 25 into 6,400 in 2 weeks? Sounds kind of crazy, right? There's some Facebook programs probably launching right now that are saying that. I mean, it's time to, kind of wake up, snap out of it, right? You can turn 25 into 6,400 in about 4 months, right? That's about, and that's how you do that. You take 25, you make 100, you take 75, you buy 25 and 50 toward, then you make 300, and you take 3. Then this is a process that happens over a couple months. And all of a sudden you have 500, you put it on some boards, and then all of a sudden, before you know it, you get into 4 or 5 months in, you're at 6,400. In fact, you're not only on a $6,400 payout, but you're on a $2,000 to $3,000 a month residual now because your boards are repurchasing and reinvesting. That's how people are making $100,000 a month in USI, $100,000 a month in BitConnect. They sponsored 500 people. That's a help, because what happens is when they sponsor all these people coming in and they're all putting $500,000 of Bitcoin into USI Tech or BitConnect, they get commissions, and then all they do is leverage up. And you're getting 1 to 2%. What's 1% a day on 50,000? 500 a day, right? So you take 500 a day. How if you take 200 a day, pay all your bills and have fun? You take the other 300 and reinvest it. All of a sudden, a month later, you're not only making your 50,000 turns to 60,000. This is how people get rich. Rich get richer, right? How? Because they leverage money up. And when you get to a point where you have enough money, you don't need a team anymore. You just need to be smart. And then you start investing your money in all these other vehicles: real estate, solar, oil, stock market, bonds, Bitcoin, gold, silver, and all of a sudden, all your money's coming in, and you have a residual income off your money. How do you get there? You start here. And you start incrementally working. Now, in order to get there faster, is you learn how to network, build relationships. All the richest people on the planet, they didn't get there by themselves. They got by having a lot of people lend them a lot of money through venture capitalists and stock market and going public. Or they have a lot of rich friends. Or they're really smart and they know that building a relationship was key to their wealth. Home Depot, the guy who founded Home Depot, had 5 friends, 5 rich friends, luckily for him, because they all gave him like $500,000 each to start his store in, I think it was like in Alabama or wherever Home Depot started. And he took the money he was making at his hardware store, and he would take a portion. He would make, let's just say for an example, this hardware store was making $100,000 a month. His overhead was $50,000. He had $50,000 a month now to do something with it. He took increments of that, went to a bank, got a loan, and bought another hardware store down the street, or maybe in another town in the same state. That store began to make, and sometimes obviously you get to a point where you're scaling a business. You can go buy an existing hardware store right? By getting a loan from the bank from the income you have on your on the current hardware store, buy another one, and then to buy another one, and to buy another one, and before you get to a point where you have enough revenue, enough going on. Amazon.com, same way. Bezos was poor 12 years ago. He's the richest person on the planet right now, $100 billion. He spent the first 12 years of Amazon.com, made nothing. They actually were losing $1 million a month, right? Bleeding money. And luckily he had some venture capitalists that kind of believed in the B2C web commerce angle 15 years ago when the internet was going live. They said, yeah, I think eventually in the future, right, like the Jetsons, people are going to want to go online and order something and have something delivered to their door. Nah, that'll never happen, right? Yeah, it kind of happened. And so, and then it was the 2000, the dot-com boom and bust, where everyone was trying to become Amazon, but they had no value. They had no spin. They had no delivery. And why Amazon is the biggest they are? Distribution. He spent 10 years building warehouses and distribution centers and bought 747s and bought trucks. And that's why he was burning through $1 million a month. And he went to the board, said, this is why we're spending our money. Trust me. Right? So this story after story after story. And what does all that mean? What's the moral to that entire story? Using leverage. Other people's money, which is really coming from our members joining the program. That's what pays you 25 and 100, 100, 300, 300, 500. How do you start making $2,000, $3,000 a month from other people's money? Why are they spending the money and investing in purchasing boards? To make money. So when everyone comes together with this one purpose is to make more money is created. And then we share it. Done. If you combine the essence of wanting to help others and knowing the essence of leveraging your money up and beginning to use your money smartly and working with the team to help you raise your funds up so you can scale and go into multiple businesses and multiple streams and have a 3-month, 6-month, 9-month, 1-year plan, you've now reached the promised land. Do you reach it in 1 week? As I make this analogy, it's like I'm like 25 pounds overweight, believe it or not. It took me like a year to get a little bit overweight because I was so busy with, making money and on my laptop, drinking vodka, and going to the gym once in a while. The good thing I went to the gym, I'd be 500 pounds. But in order to lose those 25 pounds, how long is it going to take me? They say by eating properly and exercising, the healthy way to lose weight, you lose 1 pound a week. So I got 25 weeks. That's just what it's going to take for you to start understanding and breaking free. Just as a quick analogy. How do you make it in 20 weeks? How do you make it in 15 weeks? How do you make it in 10 weeks? Go find more people like you that need more Bitcoin and become their friend and then help them. Man. And I joke about this too, and I don't know if it's a joke or not, but you go see Gary Vee and Tony Robbins, you go spend $12,000, you go to Bahamas for 3 days, and all you do is have cocktails, and you sit for 8 hours, and Tony Robbins F-bombs you for 8 hours, or Gary Vee will F-bomb you for 8 hours, right? They share the same stuff. So there isn't like all these big secrets, and I would recommend reading Tony Robbins' book, or really starting to understand a lot of the most successful people on the planet. How did they get there? Read their biographies. Really start to own, because if you're not learning, you're not earning. You got to always be learning. You got to learn more about Bitcoin. You got to learn about cryptos. What are the top cryptos? How do you buy Ripple? I don't freaking know. No, I do know. You know why? Because I use Google. Right? It's like, how do I find my hash? Hell if I know. I know it goes good with eggs. If you do a search with YouTube or Google, how do I find my hash in Coinbase? Search. There's 1,800 videos on YouTube right now that'll show you how to find your hash. And this is the problem though, and I don't want to end up too negative, but in order for you to get to where you get to, and I talked about this. So say you're making $2,000, $3,000 a month. Say you're making nothing. Whatever that number is to pay your bills every month, to keep your bills paid, to keep your rent paid, what is it going to take to get your online income up to that point, to where you've got a choice? That's what this all is about. Why I talked about losing weight, 25 weeks. doesn't go like this, folks. You know, and some people think that let me buy all boards, send Robert $1,500, and then in 30 days pound his messenger for 10 hours so I can get to where I get, you know, and be here. Now you can accelerate it by throwing more money, but you also have to understand you have to be a little more patient. But in order to get to the point where you're replacing your income, you still have to have your steady income. So you don't want to quit your job anytime soon. You know, I was working my full-time job and building an online income for 5 years, right? To a point where I had enough following, enough list to where I was like, I was making a lot of money over here, right? But when, you know, I can make even a little less here and drop this and be 150% happier, which is kind of where I'm at, right? I'm at that zone. But how do you replace this, your job? Do you have a plan, 3 months, 6 months? You know, you take a certain amount of money and put it in X4 and you start putting it in this month, the extra money is here. So if you make $3,000 a month and your bills are $3,000 a month, you ain't got no money. Welcome to the 80% that's of people on the planet. They live check to check. Why? Because it's just the way it is. It's always also, whatever you make is what you spend. It always equals. You make $100,000 a year, you spend $100,000 a year. Unless you're smart and you put 10% away and you start saving it. So what happens is you take a portion of that money, you got to find that extra money somewhere, folks, and slowly start to put it into your business and work smart through X4, USI, BitConnect, Mint Builder. All of a sudden you're building a team and a network, still feeding it 3 months, 6 months, 9 months. All of a sudden you're like, do I really want this job? And I think I'm really doing well here. I'm really starting to learn skills. You drop that eventually where you just say, hey, boss, because you know you're consistently making enough money to say, you know what, I'm gone. And all of a sudden your income keeps going up over here because you've learned all the skills to build the income. And now you're at the point where you're free and happy and your income goes up even more because let's face it, 80% of people don't even like their job. Okay. All right. So I'm done for the day. I don't want to go any longer because I got these 2 hours, but hopefully, and the other thing I think I'll finish up. 4 things. Timing. There ain't better timing to be in Bitcoin and crypto. Your life, your kid's life, their kid's life, and their kid's life. Well, we're talking until the planet explodes, right? Whether North Korea does it or it does it on its own. So timing can never be any better. The opportunity kind of goes with the timing, the opportunity to be in Bitcoin, crypto, and Bitcoin X4 and being involved with really network marketing and affiliate marketing. The only reason why it's taken so long, it's one of the most perfect way to build a network and distribute income on the planet Earth. All corporations are set up like that. CEO, management, president, vice president, you know, because it works that way. It's a distribution of power. But all the people that are making the money, you know, the 5% that control 95% of the money on the planet, they don't want a lot of us understanding how to build a business and build a network to make wealth. Why? Because they want you working for them so they can do it. That's a shock. So another Allie. Wow. Okay, I'm cutting you off, Allie. No, I'm just kidding. She turned 375 into 3,400. But yeah, I just want to end up because I don't want to go too much longer. Let's see if I have any more questions here. But what I was going to say there with the whole distribution model and understanding building networks, Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, you know, all the richest people on the planet build networks and everyone else works for those networks. So if you're not constantly looking at ways to build a network of products and services, so getting back to the 4 things, I get a little off track because I try to go a little bit deeper into a point and then I forget my entire point. But there's so many layers. And this is the other thing that everyone has to understand is that, like I said, if you're not learning, you're not earning. And really, if you're not learning, you're dying. You know, everyone eventually has to pass on. I'm hoping that what makes you healthy and live longer is, first of all, be at peace, right? And try to be happy, whether it's mental or whatever it is, just try to be grateful and happy. But you also always should be learning. You always want to keep your mind fresh. And they say you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Yes, you can. And so one of the biggest things that I can recommend, Tai Lopez, biggie online, that he kind of changed my life a couple years ago, and I got him on YouTube, and I got his 40-day plan. Now he's starting to talk about Bitcoin and crypto. It's kind of funny, but I like Tai, and he plays basketball a lot in the backyard with all his models, and he's a little bit too much with the models lately, but can't blame him. He's not married, but his whole modus operandi is that whole mindset shift, and he really turned it around for me. But see, he always said that you do need to find some mentors, and you don't have to necessarily, I could be your mentor, but I don't have enough time, I'm so sorry. But you want to find people that are really, truly successful. And if you can't find a mentor, you find someone that's online, a mentor. Eric Thomas. Go to YouTube and search for Eric Thomas. The guy's freaking amazing. Watch Tony Robbins videos. Watch Tai Lopez, some of his videos. Maybe sign up he has a 47-day plan, 47 days of watching him every day for half an hour. And after the video, he talks about success principles and successful people, how to do certain things in life. And at the bottom of the video, you write what you've learned. And it's a total mind shift. This is another thing I'm really going to recommend, because there ain't nothing worse than just throwing Bitcoin over the fence and hoping that you make your 15, 30-day assurance. And your life still stinks. You're at a job you don't like. What good is that? Right? All right. Oh, 4 things. Sorry. See how I go on tangents? So timing, it ain't going to get any better, folks. Not for your life or your kid's life or your kid's life. In fact, we're at the very beginning. That's the opportunity with Bitcoin. Bitcoin X4, USI Tech, BitConnect, Mint Builder, gold, silver, cryptocurrencies. The product is all those things I mentioned. Bitcoin X4, USI Tech, BitConnect. What's the 4th thing? Taking action. This is the net, and I'll end up, I have to go back to work for 10 hours doing your boards and doing your payouts. If you're not taking action, consistent action with a solid program, it's all for naught. I mean, taking action could be as simple as just buying some Bitcoin and holding on to it, but you're not really capturing the essence of true wealth, right? So it goes well beyond that. But these 4 criteria, and the 4th thing is probably the most important, is taking consistent, massive action. It's not logging into Facebook once a week and wondering if Robert's paid you yet while you're at a job you hate, right? Your life stinks, broke, barely making it. You're going to log on to Facebook once a week and see if Robert's going to send you that $75 so you can go and spend it on, going out. So this is where the shift has to happen. You got to get to a point where you're like this, folks. If not, you're welcome to hang out here, and I'll be sending you Bitcoin every 15 to 30 days. And soon, this is my hope, right? By osmosis. And this is why I'm here. Help my family, make sure they have successful lives, do as much as I can, right? To help as many people in my surroundings, my friends, my family, and then to help you. And the main purpose is to make you understand that your success is in here, but we're here to help break it out and break free. And all the things I talk about in this last almost 2 hours now is all the things that you have to really start to own. And you have to get to a point where you're treating your online career as a job, but it's not a job you hate. It's a job you love. It has all the characteristics of getting up in the morning, going and doing things you don't want to do, updating a website, making relationships, talking to people, and they tell you to go, screw yourself. You got to go, and you try to unfriend and block them, and you have one no, and you want to quit the business and go back to the job you don't like. This is why 80-90% of people don't like sales and marketing, because they can't deal with the rejection. You got to get to a point where if you have strong enough vision and goals, all that other noise doesn't matter. And all you're doing is you have to get vision boards and goals. And here's my 3-month plan should be, what is it you want to earn in the next 3 months? Just make it a number, and you make it a little bit higher, because like Jim Carrey just went off a little bit on the deep end, but he's got to the point where he's made so much stupid money that he lost touch with reality a little bit. But at the end of the day, he wrote himself a check for $10 million, and he put it in his wallet. In fact, I was just listening to a special on Netflix about Jim Carrey. He was doing an Andy Kaufman movie, but anyway, he said that when he was in Brentwood near Hollywood, he was walking down the street, and he wrote himself a $10 million check. He put it in his pocket, he saw this fortune teller. He's like, I'll go see it. And he went into this fortune teller, and his fortune teller says, I sense a very powerful essence from you, Jim. And in the next few years, you'll be a part of 3 movies, and you'll never have to worry again about being, popular and rich. And literally within 6 months, he launched. It's been so long. The Mask, Pet Detective, or Pet, whatever he did. That was the funniest movie I ever saw, and Dumb and Dumber. He made 3 movies over those next 5 years. He became a millionaire. And that $10 million check he wrote 3 years ago and put it in his pocket to himself, the Mask said, come on, Jim, I want you to do Mask. Here's $10 million. That was his payment that he got paid for his first movie, and he wrote himself that check 3 years ago. So this is what it is. It's all about your mindset and thinking that it's possible to achieve, and then it's just taking consistent action towards your goals. Now, did Jim sit around? No, he crafted his art. He worked 8, 10, 12 hours a day learning to be an amazing comedian, an amazing actor, and it took him 10, 15 years to get to a point now where, of course, he's worth $500 million and he's a complete kook, but I still love him. But there you go. All right, guys, I got to take off and go send you some money. Warren Buffett, what's that quote? Diversification may preserve wealth, but concentration builds wealth. Ooh. Yeah, you got to be diversified. That's why I talk about multiple streams, because if something goes down, you have other streams. So if you're only in one program and you build a huge team, and that program, you go log in the next morning, it's 404. 404 is always when you go to a dead website and you realize that the admin just went to the Bahamas. And there's no way you can do anything because the feds in the U.S. and Canada and all these people, they're never going to get your money back. I mean, I think with Traffic Monsoon, remember that company? I mean, they're still chasing Charles through the courts. And you know, if you spent $10,000 in Traffic Monsoon, you were hoping to make, that it was one of those surf traffic things. In the court, we'll spend 15 years and you'll get paid. You'll get sent back like $5. So anyway, but Buffett and this is why you want to always diversify. Now, X4 is one of your vehicles, the entry point, and then you have multiple streams, because what it comes down to is one team, unified Bitcoin team, one system, one effort, and then 3 to 5x income, because every single person that comes in the team begins to join these other programs with you. So you're making the same effort with the same person and making 5 times the amount of money. And you minimize risk, because if you have 5 streams of income, obviously, initially, it's overwhelming. Like, oh, I can only join one program. I can't. How do you do all those programs? I don't have money to join all those programs. Well, you don't join them all at once, right? If you have a little bit of money, maybe you do join them all at once. But you slowly build up to where you have 5 or 6 or 7 incomes going at once. And Warren Buffett, diversification may preserve wealth, because that guy, in fact, Ty Lopez is one of the bigger investors in Warren Buffett. He goes to the conference every year in Nebraska. And he goes through the Warren Buffett fund. It's like $700 to get one share of his fund. He's made 30 to 40% on the money of his investors for the last 30 years. What does he invest in? Walmart, Chevron, food, water, oil, solar, all the he doesn't do Bitcoin. He thinks Bitcoin's still a fad. Sorry, Warren. But it's so important to diversify, because one of those companies disappear, so what? You got 4 other incomes. It insulates you. It minimizes risk. And then, not to mention, same effort, same team, same system, 5 times your money. We want to make $2,000 a month in the same effort, or $10,000 a month. How do you go from $2,000 a month to $10,000 a month? You either have to bring in 500 people in the program that you're working to take your income from 2,000 to 5,000, or you use the same 500 people and they're all in the 5 programs, and your income can go to 2,000 to 10,000 with the same amount of people. Another big thing that people don't understand. It's not about bringing in more people. It's using the core of our 1,400 people. And if we all join these other streams of income together and share in the volume and the commissions, we take our income from, say, $1,000 a month to $3,000 or $4,000 a month from the same amount of people. That's leverage. All right, I got to run. Yes, and so in summary, I didn't notice. Let me see here if I have any. Yeah, so just as we finish up, The cycle insurance was created by me because I'm a nice guy. Don't take advantage of it. There's no guarantee. And I just, and like I said, if it gets to a point where, it's all crazy, I send your money back. So you really don't have any grounds for ruin it for everybody else. That's my only fear, is that, come, God forbid, a few weeks from now, everything collapses because one dude or one gal didn't get paid the 30 days and, they had to wait a day. That's how fickle sometimes this business can be. I'm not going to go anywhere. And so I'll just be starting another company or building a business, but I want to just make sure you guys in your circle of influence, who you're sponsoring, make sure you're sponsoring the right people. And there's people that you're sponsoring into my program that I've already blocked. So you got to be really, it's not only just, oh, you want to join and send 25 and 50 and 100? Sure, come on in, right? There needs to be now a little bit more criteria, and I'll start managing that over the next few weeks. Now, the nights, and everyone listening to this right now, if you're sponsoring people, go to their Facebook profile. Start understanding who your people are that are joining you. Now, if they're your friends or your family, that's one thing, right? But if it's, someone, that look a little shady, this is where you just say, you know what, membership is on hold until January, or just let them kind of go away. And they start, what do you mean, January? Unfriend, block, right? You got to start smartening up. And it's not just, but I just want them to join me so I can make a bunch of money. Yeah, so they can damage the company, right? Anyway, that's a great way to end it, right? Okay. Can't we stagger our boards to get paid every week? So Dwayne Sanders asked a question. You will be getting paid every week. If you do the right things in this program, it may get to a point where everyone's on every 3 or every 5 days, or it could be every week. Say you have 8 or 10 boards running and you've earned $1,200, $1,500. It won't be realistic, right, to have 2,000 people that I'm sending $1,000 to instantly. That's $200,000, right? But it may be way more realistic for those people that I owe $1,500, $1,800, $2,000, and over a 2-week period, is to pay you $800 this week, and $800 next week, $800. So everyone will be. This is why I think one of the biggest things I can end up on this is the personal responsibility of your time and date stamping and all your spaces or all your spots. Also, it's all about the spot, not the board. If you're personally sponsoring a lot of people on a board and you want to fill the board so you can cycle, that's one thing. But most often, it's about the spot. Every spot can be leveraged into thousands of dollars. It's not the board. The board is just the mechanism to try to cycle you to get you paid right then or whatever, which gets you another spot. So what I'm talking about is when you have 8, 10, 15, 20 spots that are all eligible to get paid 15 to 30 days. So you manage those spots. And then when they reinvest, and then what happens is you'll also have not only all the spots, time and date stamp, and when you're going to get paid your 15, 30, but over here you have another part of your spreadsheet, another tab or whatever. This is where you start to start managing your money. This is what's going to take you to the next level in your career, is to understand how money is made and managed. So how you manage it over on this side is know that, well, I cycled this board's up for cycle, this board's up. So now out of my 10 boards, I now have a running total of $2,800 that Robert owes me. At the end of the day, every time someone cycles, it's a liability for me. Every time that someone joins, it's a 400% bill. So it's almost like going out and getting a loan from a bank, and for $100, and you have to pay the bank back $400. It's like a loan shark. So I'm like the Bitcoin export loan shark. But when you get to a point where you're at $2,800, I don't just say, okay, cool, here's your $2,800. Because in order to control the cash flow, so this program lasts a very, very long time, so we can use it for a vehicle to raise funds so we can build wealth in other programs, I pay you $800 a week for 3 weeks. That satisfies as a 28. Does that make sense? Now, if you are about ready to be evicted and you need $2,000, I won't just send you 8. We'll work it out. Now, don't be making up stories that I'm going to get evicted. Send me my whole money. And then certainly don't say, hey, you owe me that money. Guess what? All that money that I owe you is house money. Some people that I now owe $1,000, let's say, they started with like $50. They already made $2,000 on $50, and then I still owe them $1,000. All they ever spent, their original seed money, was $50. Now, how crazy is that? That's leverage. But it also means that everyone also needs to look at, Okay, so, and get realistic. I only put, like say Allie put in 400, but she's made 3,500. So she's in profit $3,100, and that 3,100 could turn into 25,000 in 2018. Will I send her 25,000 instantly through her wallet? No, but I could send her 700 a week for the next 40 weeks, right? That ain't bad. $700, $800, $900,000 a week residual income on Bitcoin, and Bitcoin price going up, right? So this is the thinking. And then so when Dwayne says, "Can we stagger the boards so we get paid?" It automatically begins to happen. The more boards and spots that you have, you automatically will begin to get on a weekly pay payment. This is the way it is, because it's also going to be where I may wait to do payouts, right, a certain time of day. So right now I'm doing everything just like this, like a crazy person. As soon as someone comes to me, I send them the Bitcoin instantly, and I get them their board. I'm going to get to a point where Mondays will be board day. I don't talk to anybody. All I do is just update boards the entire day. You don't even know where I'm at. Tuesday is the Zoom, and maybe I'll start paying out. Tuesday will be payday. And Thursday will be payday. Wednesday will be another board day. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to start staggering my time to where when you already know Robert ain't going to even answer your message on Monday or Wednesday. Does that make sense? And people think, well, why don't you hire like 10 people? Because that's a friggin' nightmare, right? Because you're like, all you're doing is managing the people to figure out what they did that you could do. And you're pinging them on Facebook, and they're off Facebook. They're out having lunch, because you're paying them good money, and they're making good money, and you barely reach them. And you say, "Hey, Margaret, did you ever update that board for Jim?" "Oh, no, I forgot." Right? Talk about a friggin' nightmare. That's why I'm a control freak. If I have everything under my control, then, what it comes down to is time management. All right, I got to run. I can go on and on. So another 2-hour meeting. Hopefully you guys got something out of this, because I would recommend I really recommend like major. In fact, it's going to get to a point for cycle assurance. I haven't started this yet. You need to watch this Zoom before I pay you. How do I prove it? I'm not sure yet. It's going to be coming though, because halfway through the Zoom, I'm going to say, what's the color of an apple? I'll say it's green, not red. Green for money. And then 20 minutes later, what's my favorite sport? Golf. And then some people will know, and they'll try to cheat the system. But you need to watch that whole Zoom before you even know the answers to those questions to get paid. Why? Because if you're not learning all this stuff and understand the program, and you're just getting paid out, you're doing no one any good, especially yourself, and especially the program. Because I know for a fact, if you have 1,400 members, there's only 100 people here. 12 of them already left the meeting. And I get it on YouTube, and I only get 300 views. There's still 1,000 people in this program not watching these most important critical meetings. And the other thing that I want you to do, if you have sponsored anybody, is the first thing you do as soon as I post this out on YouTube and get it to the groups and the chats, is send it to them. Say, please watch this. It's critical to the success of your business. Because when I start getting people pinging me on 30-day assurance, the first thing I ask, have you been on any recent Zooms? Guess what they say? No. Some people lie and say, yeah, I've been watching them. And I say, because what's happened recently, and I won't say too much about this because it's their own fault. They don't even know there's a cycle assurance. They haven't even watched the recent Zoom. So I just send their money back because that's what they think the program still is. It hasn't been like that for a month. That you just get your money back. So yeah, I happily send their money back and I get them out of the program. Because they don't even take the time enough to watch a Zoom to understand it, that if they were nice and watched the Zoom, they would have got 400% on their money. And they would have made thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars next year with me. But they're so short-sighted, and they didn't take the time to take this business serious and watch the Zoom. So it's going to start being required. And I hate to do that. The other big thing that's going to be required that I'm seeing a little bit of is the liking, commenting, juicing, sharing, networking, inviting. Because once again, you just come in, you throw your Bitcoin over the fence, you check in every 2 weeks to get paid out so you can go work your other programs or work a job you don't like. Does no one any good. This is the Unified Bitcoin team. We're trying to build a long-term Bitcoin wealth team, and you gotta kind of earn your stripes, right? And if you do something, you get let go, much like some of the big wigs this week when they did something they shouldn't do. You get let go. Okay. Yeah, so I saw a quote about someone, make sure that when you invite people in, there's a lot of crazy people on Facebook. Trust me. I talk to them every day. Unfortunately, they're my members, and not to you. I mean, most of the people that are on this are, you know, greatest people that I've ever met, and I love all the things that you're doing and the effort. But I think with this, in summary, when you leave this meeting, make sure that you ping the people that you're invited to make sure they watch the Zoom. And then you also got to make sure they have their referral link. Do they know what liking and commenting and juicing even is? Do they have anyone that they know that's in Bitcoin that wants to join? Do they, you know, are they doing, what else are they doing in Bitcoin? Are they sharing, if they're in USI, are they sharing with their people that they're pitching USI to? Are they sharing X4? So we all can kind of just keep building the network and building our skills. But when you invite someone in, you want to go to their Facebook profile, you got to want to smell them out a little bit. Because like I said, some of these people coming in, you know, are pinging me, and then I see them and I can't get to their messenger because I've blocked them already, because they're already turned out to be very bad people. And some people I kick out, I block them, and they ping me on email, and then they write me a letter like this long on email begging to come back in. And oftentimes I don't. I give them about a month, and then they just disappear. But if people have the kind heart, and I do forgive after a while. Okay, so here we go. Thanks, Juanita. So Juanita, you're up for your 30 days. So I think you messaged me last night. Juanita Chrisman. Also Brian Nichols, you're on the line. You also, I owe you. And I think I have Ace Ventura, that's right. And Jason just told me. So yeah, the Jim Carrey, he was a special dude. Some of the stories he told. And then, you know, he went to that psychic and she saw that, right? So here's another thing is that it's not mumbo jumbo. You know, all this is for a reason. And every single thought is a thing, and it goes out into the ether. And every single action is a reaction. So if you're positive, you get positive. If you're negative with hate, you get negative hate. You know, how about your relationships, right? How many relationships have you had in the past? Hopefully you're happily married, or you have, you know, your partner, you have your family. But think back some of the relationships that you had and how bad it got, right? Because it was just like this, and the universe is a mirror. So make sure that you're really just a super clean, good person, and then the universe loves that. The more that you help and love and forgive, the more you'll be given. And I know that oftentimes how I'm treated is sometimes it's just because you've been so screwed for so long that you've been beat up. So you come here and you're at home, and then we work it out. Okay. All right, I'll see you guys. I'll be online all day. So once again, 1 to 2 days, sometimes 3 days, if you're in terms of cycle assurance. And then also, it's not only just as soon as you ping me, I send the money. We have a discussion. I want to start to know you more, what your future is in this company. What have you been doing? What do you do for a living? What do you want to do? That's how some of these cycle assurance conversations are going to go. And if it goes sideways, if it goes good, I pay you instantly. I put you on a new board. You start really starting to participate, and you can change your life for the good. If not, we don't need that negativity in our life. And then I'm just hoping that we don't have too many people out there, you know, pinging Facebook and calling the authorities. You know, I send your money back. Have a nice life. Okay. I'll see you guys. Love you. We'll talk soon.